There's so many horrific accusations involving young singers, young children.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
JAYZ.
Everybody.
What if everything we thought we knew about hip-hop royalty turned out to be a carefully crafted illusion? What if Jay-Z, yes, the Jay-Z billionaire mogul, husband to Beyoncé and cultural icon, had a disturbing secret buried beneath all that success? Well, buckle up, because Joe Rogan just blew the lid off a scandal that's got the entire entertainment world spiraling. According to Rogan, Jay-Z wasn't just another attendee at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. He was allegedly Diddy's main worker, let that sink in, main worker. Not just a guest, but a key player in the behind-the-scenes madness. This jaw-dropping claim has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and the hip-hop community alike. And now fans are left wondering, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Could Jay-Z's unstoppable rise to the top have been tied to something far darker than talent and ambition? Is this the price of fame? Or the currency of power in an industry where loyalty, manipulation, and silence rule everything? In this video, we're pulling back the velvet curtain. We're going all the way in, exploring Joe Rogan's explosive allegations, the twisted dynamics behind Jay-Z and Diddy's relationship, and the chilling details of what allegedly went down at those freak-off gatherings. Brace yourself, this isn't just a scandal, it's a story that could rewrite Jay-Z's entire legacy.
Sometimes you have to tell Diddy no.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man.
Sean Diddy Combs' alleged list of accomplishments to be revealed soon. The names will shock you, attorney says. Whoa.
I think he's gonna sing, hey. If I got invited to the white party, I'd have gone.
Especially if you didn't know.
Of course, no one knew. No one
Right.
knew.
If
And
you
then
don't know, you're
find
just
out.
a celebrity and you know, oh, Jennifer Lopez is going to be there. Oh, Rick
That's what I'm
Ross is
saying.
going to be there. Everyone's going to be there.
And
That would be a cool place. I want to meet those people.
Fact.
I don't even think I still know what I want to this day.
Really?
I think I just want to be okay. I don't even give a fuck about this money, the fame. I don't give a fuck about. I love the music because I'm blessed and I'm grateful for it. I cherish it because it's my living and I'm comfortable off of it. This is what my mama wanted. You know what I'm saying?
So to this day, you're not sure that that's what you wanted.
I don't think it is. I think what I want is just love. I missed out on a lot of love. I want a family.
Let's set the scene. Joe Rogan's podcast has always been the place where the unspeakable gets spoken. He's unfiltered, controversial, and not afraid to stir the pot. But even for Rogan, this latest revelation hit like a thunderclap. On a recent episode, Rogan dropped a bomb. Jay-Z, Mr. Empire State of Mind, was allegedly Diddy's go-to man at these secretive, scandal-soaked parties. And we're not talking business meetings. We're talking the kind of stuff that's whispered about in industry corners but never spoken aloud until now. This revelation doesn't just rattle two of hip-hop's most untouchable moguls. It rips the lid off a power structure that's been untouchable for decades.
I'll do a second album. And I said, but I only have 3 weeks. He goes, I will do the whole thing in 3 weeks. And he did it.
Whoa.
And I went and saw him. He did the singing. He did the writing. He engineered it. He did every single thing. So the guy that's the king of hip hop, he goes to work.
And let's be real, when Joe Rogan talks, people listen. He's not just speculating, he's analyzing the power dynamics of the industry. And in this case, he's pointing the finger at a system where unchecked influence leads to silence, complicity, and maybe even submission. And right at the center of it, Diddy, whose lavish lifestyle, wild parties, and ever-growing list of legal troubles have painted him as both untouchable and unaccountable. And Jay-Z, once seen as the ultimate self-made king of hip-hop, now stands accused of being entangled in something far more sinister. Jay-Z, from Marcy Projects to billionaire, or puppet, Jay-Z's journey from the drug-ridden streets of Brooklyn to boardrooms and billion-dollar ventures is the stuff of legend. He's been the poster child for hustle, ambition, and self-made glory. From Rockefeller Records to Roc Nation, from Beyonce to the Super Bowl, Jay-Z seemed to beat the game. But here's the thing, no one rises to the top alone in this business.
Ambition.
Sit down. Be humble.
Wait, what the fuck? This is what I think he's what they would like hip hop culture to be.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Like look at the themes. Good Kid, Bad City, Mad City. You know what I mean? Like coming out of the environment and being that talented. So they would like it to be that, and it'd be
Less scary and
yes,
dangerous.
less aggressive, less parts of the environment.
Because you can sell it to more people.
Right.
You can sell it to way more people.
Because I didn't even know what that was. When he got that one, I was like, whoa, what's that? Like I seen, Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, listen, if you look at his career,
This guy. Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong. At the same time.
He got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures were fucking things the cup.
However,
And that's where Diddy comes in. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, the two were frequently seen together, collaborating, partying, partnering in ventures. To the public, it was just two moguls helping each other level up. But Rogan's revelation hints that behind that glitzy partnership was something else, something darker, something twisted. Could it be that Jay-Z's fast rise was greased by more than just lyrical genius and good business sense? Could it be that Diddy's parties were more than just wild nights, but carefully orchestrated power plays?
public view.
There's so many horrific accusations involving young singers, young children.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
JAYZ,
Everybody.
Let's talk about those parties. You've heard the rumors. Diddy's freak-offs have been whispered about for years. Lavish, secretive, exclusive. A place where celebrities, models, and industry elites mixed, and not just for champagne and caviar. These weren't just parties. According to insiders, they were high-stakes games of power. Parties where rules were unspoken, boundaries blurred, and people were either players or pawns.
You know, people are depraved enough to try to get straight guys to suck their dick. We've all heard of it.
The P. Diddy quote is Jaguar Wright said this, an ex-employee of him. He goes, if you can get a man to suck you, you can do anything.
The underage people implicating people in crimes by bringing underage people to them. And
wait, what does that mean?
That was the whole thing about the Epstein place, is that like if you've got underage girls and you don't tell these guys these are underage girls, and then you get them drugged up, get them drunk, give them coke, whatever it is, and then film them.
Yep.
Well, they don't even know.
So they don't know that they're committing acts of pedophilia.
Could be, or could be they do know and they think it's safe to do it because this guy's protecting them. But meanwhile, they're just coked up and they're getting filmed.
Yeah.
You know, which is also the theory.
It wasn't just about indulgence. It was about control. Ex-employees, insiders, even ex-friends have come forward with bone-chilling descriptions. Attendees were expected to play along, no questions asked. Business deals and favors were entangled with personal exposure. The moment you stepped into Diddy's world, you weren't just partying, you were owned. And if you wanted to make it in the music industry, you complied or you disappeared. Now imagine a young Jay-Z, hungry, ambitious, ready to conquer the game. What would you do in his shoes? The industry's dirty secret: compliance or collapse.
No one confirmed anything. It was all just rumors.
They just waited until we stopped asking. Do you guys get questions about Hollywood parties now? I have to tell people like, oh, I don't even know anyone who was not invited to those.
Yeah, right.
There's levels of Hollywood. It's not all of us in.
Yeah, it's Matt Rife and those guys.
He ain't invited.
He's not even invited?
No, it's high levels.
I got roped into going one night with Chappelle. The only time I've ever been like a real. Well, it was we were at the Comedy Store, and Dave was like, "Come on, Joe, I gotta go to this party."
How you gonna say no?
And I was like, "All right, let's go." And so we drove my Porsche up into the Hollywood Hills. It was like a scene in a movie, like two comedians like having fun, leaving the Comedy Store, driving up to the movie. And we're going to Naomi Campbell's house.
Whoa!
Or some guy's house who was having Naomi Campbell's party. And we're on an elevator, like this little outdoor elevator with Demi Moore and some other lady. And it's an outdoor elevator, like you're sitting in like a cart, and it's like taking you up the side of the hill. And as we're going up the side of the hill, we look at this. They had a party house, so they had a regular house and a party house.
What?
And the party house was so high up the hill that there was like a 50-foot gigantic photo of a naked Naomi Campbell.
Wow.
Like one of her modeling poses.
Yeah.
And then you go up there and it's like Lenny Kravitz and all these famous people, like just famous everywhere.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was so, and at one point in time, Naomi Campbell, she had a book of all her modeling stuff, and there was so many photographers there. At one point, she just starts posing, and they're all just like snapping pictures. So you're at her party, and all these cameras are going off, and she's posing. And
You're just watching it all?
bizarre. And then me and Dave are hanging out, and Dave goes, man, I never want to be that famous.
The music industry runs on unspoken rules. At the top, a few powerful gatekeepers hold the keys to success, and careers are made or broken in a heartbeat. For rising stars, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, aligning with someone like Diddy wasn't just a choice, it was survival. You either played the game or you got left behind. And now, Rogan's claims suggest that JAYZ may have played that game hard. Was he a willing participant or a young artist trapped by the same toxic system that swallowed so many before him? Was he coerced into roles he couldn't escape from? These aren't just questions, they're wounds. Deep, festering wounds in an industry that feeds off silence.
You don't know that
fire it up.
That mirror on the wall is a two-way one. There's a camera on the other side. Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I am
guys
with drugs.
laughing, watching.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We got him. Look at that shriveled up thing.
The Oral Office.
And it's all Diddy's mansion. It got burnt to the ground.
That's true. The baby oil goes up.
The baby oil, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's an accelerant.
Yeah,
started the fires in California.
It's probably not baby lube. It's probably lube, and I bet lube burns forever.
Oh, yeah.
I bet lube is like
Jet fuel.
lava.
Grease fire.
It just burns forever. It's probably some sort of synthetic.
When are we going to get the real dirt? All I got is a hallway beat up on video.
Right.
But I need, Bieber's crying, J-Lo's nervous,
If I had to
Jay-Z's gay.
guess, this is what I would say. There's a lot, apparently, of famous people involved in this, which means there's a lot of accusers, and there's a lot of money that people won't get if these people go down.
Right.
So if you're a lawyer, and you're involved in this whole thing, the move would be like, we could go public with this and this would be the end. That is not our interest.
Yeah.
Our interest in is a settlement. And then next thing you know,
keep making money off of somebody.
Someone who's really good at basketball, or fucking someone who's like makes
It's all
good songs.
maybe though. It's all maybe.
Someone,
Everyone left the
whatever it
parties
is.
early every time.
It'll be like Epstein, though. It'll be the same thing. It'll be like nobody ever gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Did you see that prosecutor
Yeah.
though? The guy who said there's some very famous names and you will be stunned at what you'll see.
What, on Diddy or Epstein?
Diddy.
Yeah.
My people
So they-
will not let those names come out.
But here's the thing:
No.
if the videos exist,
Enter the whistleblowers. Over the years, voices have risen from the shadows. People who saw too much, who couldn't stay silent. One of the loudest? Jaguar Wright. She's called these parties ritualistic. She's named names, painted pictures of celebrities. Yes, JAYZ included, forced into compromising, humiliating situations just to stay in the game. Other insiders back her up. Former staffers say these events weren't about fun. They were about control, manipulation, secrecy. And JAYZ, according to them, he wasn't just there. He was involved.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs.
The impact of the revelations, public reaction, and media frenzy.
Now, Abby, that video that you just spoke about was a few months ago when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. Now, up until this point, when we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. after that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from Making the Band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
And then came the explosion. Joe Rogan's claims didn't just light a spark, they triggered a full-blown inferno on social media. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere you looked, people were talking. Fans went to war in the comment sections. Some stood by JAYZ, throwing out receipts of his charity work, his years of staying scandal-free, his family man image. Others weren't buying it. They demanded answers, clarity, truth. They dissected every clip, every quote, every past interview, hunting for signs they might have missed all along. And yet, the silence was deafening. Despite the storm brewing online, the major media outlets, dead quiet. Crickets, which only fueled speculation more. Are powerful people scrambling behind the scenes? Are journalists being silenced? Is there a cover-up? Because let's be honest, when something this big drops and the usual gossip sites and news channels look the other way, you start to wonder, what's really going on?
They continue to say things that do not get them closer to what they want, which is bond. It's led to indictments. And if he can begin to introspect and kind of reverse engineer some of his choices and recognize it is my decisions alone that have led me here. And if I can communicate differently moving forward, maybe the ultimate sentence, even if convicted, could be better, perhaps could lead to bond eventually. But it can be very difficult in segregation. And his lawyers have to stop blaming and excusing and talking about how difficult the experience is, because here's what a judge is going to say. If you were so concerned about what these filthy living conditions would be like in a detention center, if you were so concerned about your safety, you wouldn't have obstructed justice. You would not have, according to the government, created victims over a sustained period of time. Until he changes his message, more problems are going to follow.
And Diddy allegedly has been accused of using different drugs in the past. Even prosecutors have said on the night he was arrested that there was allegedly pink cocaine in his hotel room.
JAYZ and Diddy's relationship, a complicated history.
I said, everybody, come on over to the house.
While it's not a crime to attend a Diddy event, several of the civil lawsuits allege sex crimes occurred during those wild parties.
I've got a lot I can't tell. Can't tell that one either.
The question now could past attendees like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Kelly Osbourne, Justin Bieber, and Usher be potentially questioned by federal investigators.
Oh my God. I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
There were very curious things taking place.
Anyone who attended one of Diddy's parties dating back decades should be concerned. So Diddy's rich and powerful friends should make sure they have lawyers on standby as the feds may come knocking.
Over the weekend, all of Usher's posts on Twitter mysteriously disappeared, leading some to speculate it was related to Diddy. But the singer says his account was hacked. Saturday, we were with Tiffany Haddish, who played a bouncer in Diddy's 2022 Gotta Move On music video. And of course, he made a cameo in Girls Trip.
JAYZ and Diddy's relationship has always been complicated. They were seen as allies, powerhouses, icons. In photos together, on stage, in boardrooms, they represented Black excellence, empire building, success against all odds. But Rogan's claim forces us to look again. Were they equals, or was JAYZ just another piece on Diddy's chessboard? Because when you look at Diddy's track record, there's a pattern. He doesn't just build relationships, he dominates them, he controls. And if what insiders and whistleblowers are saying is even half true, JAYZ may have been swept into that same web of control, a web he couldn't escape from. And if that's the case, if JAYZ was being used, manipulated, or worse, then what does that say about everything he's achieved since? Were his moves always his own, or was someone else pulling the strings?
Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, once known for his lavish lifestyle and living large in his multi-million-dollar mansions, has a new home as he awaits trial in his federal sex trafficking case. Last week, the Bad Boy Founder's defense team unsuccessfully fought to keep the music producer out of federal jail after his arrest. Now his new digs once housed other high-profile inmates, including R. Kelly, Fetty Wap, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy is currently housed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, a stark difference from the glitz, glamour, and wealth in Hollywood and Star Island in Miami Beach, Florida. But MDC Brooklyn has been described as hell on earth, with horrifying conditions. The facility, which now houses Diddy, opened in the early 90s and is the only federal jail in New York City after the Bureau of Prisons closed its Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2021 after many issues came to light in the wake of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide just 2 years earlier.
Now, let's address the conspiracy theories. Jay-Z's name has long been attached to whispers of secret societies, Illuminati symbolism, and elite circles of influence. For years, people have pointed to his music videos, lyrics, hand signs, and exclusive partnerships as signs that he's involved in something deeper than just business. So when Joe Rogan connects him directly to Diddy's freak-off events rumored to be full of blackmail, secrets, and control mechanisms, it hits hard. Suddenly, the old theories feel not so crazy. Were these parties just a wild night, or were they tools? Were they places where stars were broken down and rebuilt into pawns for the industry's elite? According to Rogan, Jay-Z's role wasn't casual. It was central, and that gives fuel to people who believe there's an unspoken contract in Hollywood. You give up your soul, and in return, you get the crown. But what if Jay-Z never wanted to play that game and simply had no choice? Celebrity silence, a defense or a confession? One of the most jarring parts of all this? The silence. Jay-Z has never been one to clap back impulsively, but this is huge. This isn't just a rumor, it's a direct accusation aired in front of millions. Still, not a word from him. No denial, no PR statement, no Instagram post saying this is cap. And Diddy, with his legal messes piling up and lawsuits left and right, he's been quieter than ever. Is that silence a strategy? Or is it something darker? Some say Jay-Z is ignoring it to avoid adding fuel to the fire. Others believe he's scared, that maybe the skeletons in his closet are real, and if he speaks, the whole house of cards comes crashing down. But silence can speak volumes, and right now it's screaming. Because when two of the most powerful men in hip-hop suddenly go mute in the face of scandal, you have to ask, what are they hiding?
Now, Abby, that video that you just spoke about was a few months ago when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. Now, up until this point, when we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. After that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from Making the Band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
And Ellie, not a huge amount of information available tonight, but Elizabeth brought up something that I want you to give us a little bit of insight into. Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? It could very well be that this is a federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charges that have been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The fact that he's being processed in Manhattan tells me that's the Southern District of New York. That's consistent with the reporting that the Southern District of New York had been handling.
But this isn't just about Jay-Z or Diddy anymore. This story has peeled back the curtain on the music industry's dirtiest secrets. On the manipulation, the abuse of power, the freak-offs, the blackmail, the silence, the gatekeeping, and it's making people question everything. Is the entertainment industry built on talent or submission? How many rising stars were coerced, controlled, or broken before they ever had a chance to shine? How many careers were launched with invisible strings attached? Jay-Z was supposed to be the exception, the genius, the legend, the proof that you could make it out of the Marcy projects and become a billionaire. But now fans are forced to confront the possibility that his story might not be what it seemed, that maybe, just just maybe he didn't climb the ladder alone, but was forced to crawl through something dark and dehumanizing just to survive, and that changes everything. Because if Jay-Z's image can crack, whose can't? So here we are, one podcast, one shocking allegation, and an entire industry shaken to its core. We've explored the freak-off rumors, the secret dynamics, the whispers, the theories, the silence. Joe Rogan didn't just spark a scandal, he exposed a system where silence is loyalty, where fame comes at a price, and where even the greatest icons might be hiding the ugliest truths. If you're still holding on to the idea that the music industry is all lights, fame, and billion-dollar dreams, think again. Because behind the champagne and diamonds is a world of secrets. And right now, those secrets are starting to spill. If this video opened your eyes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Your voice keeps the truth alive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.